Welcome, folks. Fred Gleek here again with Bill DeWeese for our weekly roundup. So, Bill, how was your week?
Hi, Fred. Well, I made $3,282 this week.
You're in the doghouse.
I'm in the doghouse. I'm still waiting for it's weird. It's taking a while for things to really pick back up again this year.
Yeah,
But anyhow, I had a number of jobs, and actually I had three new clients,
that's good.
and booked a fourth one for Monday. So I've actually picked up four new clients this week. So that's a real strong indicator. So I'm
Do you,
always happy
do you
about
have an
that.
indication of where you got them from?
Yeah, two of them were from Voice123. One was from Voices.com. The other one apparently found my website. And it looks like I probably have another one lined up for Voices.com. I'm just waiting for the final word on that, but hopefully that'll come through before end of day today.
Yeah, I think we should. It just made me think of one thing with all these different clients coming on board, and people who are in the voiceover business who, regardless of how big your business is, you should probably get set up on FreshBooks. I got set up for myself, and
What do you
without,
think?
yeah, I mean, for me, it's easy, and they actually gave me an account for free because I basically do no invoicing.
Mm, okay.
So, but if you do a lot of invoicing like you do, I can see how this is great. Their customer service was excellent. I called in; they were extremely responsive. Even though I was basically a free account, they're getting a heck of a lot of. I'm trying to promote them. I tried to see if they had an affiliate program so I could promote them and get paid for it,
Sure.
and they do, but it's through some company that allows. I forget what it was, but anyway. So FreshBooks, folks, if you're getting into doing
Yeah.
a lot of work, you got to get set up on FreshBooks,
I love it.
FreshBooks.com.
Love
Okay,
it.
so what happened on Monday?
Monday, did some promos for New Mexico PBS as I do every week. I did some more work for Lowe's. I'm pretty much doing work for them about every week right now, which is
Okay,
nice. Also did some safety training on Monday. So that was my Monday. Tuesday, I did some training for General Motors. It was for their factory pre-owned collection of
okay,
cars, and also did an explainer video for a gaming system. Some on hold for National and Alamo for I think this was Ontario International Airport. I did another session for a hospital I've recently done a commercial work for, so I did some follow up work for them. And I made a note here, a lesson learned.
okay.
Sometimes the chain of production is four generations deep. So you just got to keep that in mind. So, for instance, with this particular client, there's the hospital itself. Then they have the marketing firm, which they've hired to do their marketing, who in turn has hired a production company to actually produce their commercials, which in turn hired me to do the voiceover. So when that happens, it's not uncommon to, someplace along the line for somebody to say, hey, can we change this line or can we redo this line or can he say this differently? So that was what the follow up session was.
So
So
in the event that somebody bumps into a situation like that, you're just telling them, buckle your seatbelt, be prepared.
yeah, don't be frustrated by it. It is what it is, and usually those jobs tend to be better jobs anyhow. Not always, but they tend to be.
Okay, good.
Wednesday, I did a project, an explainer video for an executive search firm. This was a new client that I got through Voice123. And by the way, if you're saying, how in the world do you get so much work through the pay to play sites like Voices.com, Voice123, whereas I've done 100 auditions and haven't even had a single nibble? Well, you've got to understand how the systems work because if you don't know the rules of the game, it's hard to win the game. And if you want to know the system of how to maximize your opportunities, I just want to point you to a program I have called VOP2Psuccess.com because we laid it over the course of 4 weeks, about 6 hours of content. We lay it all out for you.
Yeah, and that really is important because just getting on the site and signing up is no guarantee that you'll get a dime's worth of work.
And you can be, as a matter of fact, I received an email this week from a guy that I know who's been doing voiceovers full time for far longer than I have, probably well over 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know what I'm doing. I've done over 100 auditions so far. Nothing. It's because he doesn't, and he's very good. He's very good. He just doesn't understand how the system works.
Got it.
Um,
So again, VOP2PlaySuccess.com, right?
yeah,
And we'll
exactly.
put it on the screen there for you.
Ashley Furniture did a project for them. I've never done work for Ashley. They're not a new client per se. I mean, it's a new end client, but it's for a production company that I do regular work for. Um, Third, and by the way, let me add in, here's another side note. I'll just kind of throw in the lessons learned as I go here. That it would have been very difficult for me to get work from Ashley Furniture had I contacted Ashley Furniture directly.
Okay.
Oftentimes I'm asked, well, how did you do work for Purina or General Motors or Intel or all these clients I've done work for? Well, it's because that I've reached out to the production facilities and marketing companies that actually go out and solicit their business. So you've got to be in the good graces of those production companies, not in the end client, 9 times out of 10,
Right.
if you want to get the work. So you're just barking up the wrong tree, essentially.
Yep. Yep. I was thinking about that as it relates to Kyle and his acting work. My stepson,
Mhm.
who, he gets he got the one job for Gogurt, and that's airing all over the place. And when we went there to watch him do the work, well, actually sit around and eat, basically, I ended up meeting the client at lunch, and the client, had no. I guess the client had some input in giving a yay or nay as to the selection of the talent, but they were not the ones. I mean, they don't have a film crew. They hire a commercial production company that produces the commercial. Obviously, the end client has the final say so as to the talent or the talent's voice or the talent's look in this case, but it always ends up being, I would think that very rarely, I mean, for the bigger organizations, can you think of any big companies where you go direct?
Yeah, I can think of one. And they actually found me. They reached out to me,
Who was that?
Lowe's.
Lowe's. So
They do
you
all
go,
their stuff internally.
and when you go direct to Lowe's like that, who are you dealing with? What's their title in the
Well,
organization?
when I do, it depends on, actually, it depends on what I do. I did their big national conference thing, which was actually through a production house. But when I do their internal training, they actually have a training department
Got it. So the training
running a train. Yeah.
is who you deal with directly
Yeah.
for that.
But most of those companies outsource all that. Most of
Yeah.
that's not done in house, but they're an exception.
So therefore, the need to build, and that's where you go to Mandy.com to find all these people listed, correct?
Right. Yeah. And in this case, again, they happened to find me.
Right.
Actually, it was through. I think they found me through one of the pay-to-play sites. Got to be there. You got to check out VOP2P success. I mean, seriously, if you want to be working full time, you got to figure that part of it out.
Got it.
Okay. And then on Thursday, I had a couple of jobs. I did some more work for National Car Rental.
Okay.
And also, here's another new client, which came through voice123.com. Pegassi was the name of the product. And it was a commercial for, it's these glasses that have some sort of special light in them that shines in your eye that's supposed to help you overcome seasonal affective disorder and jet lag. It's supposed to allow your circadian rhythm to operate normally and blah, blah, blah. So it seemed a little
Hey,
goofy to me, but
hey, if they pay the bill, the check clears, it's okay with you.
it was a nice job. So I'm okay with it. I love them. I
Yeah.
love those. If I had a pair, I would wear them all the time. And then let's see, brings us to today, and a couple of jobs today. I did a project for an Australian client. It's a robotics company, and they found me on voices.com and hired me. They actually reached out to me directly after seeing me on there. And also, I did a big retail commercial, a Swing into Spring retail commercial for a retail outlet. So that was my week. And the good news is, even though obviously I would have loved it done. I mean, it's a good week, but it wasn't an outstanding week by standards that I set for myself.
Yep.
I booked over $1,200 in work today, which I will be recording on Monday, which is not included in these numbers.
Right.
So I'll be starting off strong next week, and I hope that marks the beginning of,
Yep.
an upturn.
Yeah.
Because my goal, again, in case you missed it earlier, is I want to be consistently making $6,000 a week by the end of 2016. Yep. So I've still got the rest of this year to build up to that, but it takes a while.
Good. Well, that's pretty good. So any other final lessons that we can share with people on things that you learned this week?
Those would be them.
There you have it. Okay. Well, folks, thanks again and for watching or listening on either medium. And please give us high ratings on iTunes and if you got the podcast. And
I got it. Don't forget DeWeeseMembers.com.
Oh, of course. DeWeeseMembers.com. What is it?
Okay, so by the time you see this video, you should be able to go to DeWeeseMembers.com and sign up to become a group of it's a membership group. And every month, what we'll be doing is we'll be getting together for a Q&A specific to your issues, your problems, your challenges. We'll be doing audition reviews and feedback during that time from members. We've got a special guest interview that we'll be presenting every month with an industry expert. As a matter of fact, the first interview you did, Fred, with none other than Dave Fenoy, Los
And
Angeles-based.
and Lee in the game having to do with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, super cool guy, very talented guy. His credits are just, like a who's who.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so we'll be bring you that kind of stuff every week. We'll be doing some additional bonus content on top of that. But also, when you sign up, you immediately get the entire program. My top 100 questions answered in depth. It's like 10 hours of answers to the top 100 questions that I get. And every month, you'll also be getting a module from one of my training programs that will be sequentially released over time every month.
Yeah, and this is a really, really good deal. And there's a special going on for a limited period of time where you get it at a reduced monthly rate and you're grandfathered in, your rate will never go higher. So it's worth your while, folks, to check this out.
Yeah, so if you get in, actually, the price is $97 a month. But if you get in by Friday, which would be the 20th, by end of day, then it's only $47, and you'll never, like Fred said, you're grandfathered in forever as long as you remain a member.
There you go. Perfect. Well, hey, thanks again, Bill, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, Fred.